Welcome to another mini but mighty leadership lesson. This week, I'm counting down my top five, in no particular order, but my top five favorite brain food books, the ones that I read this year in 2025. Last week, our neighbors Joseph and Dave graciously hosted a cozy neighborhood holiday party. And during the party, Joseph asked everyone, if you read, what do you like to read? If you read, that always surprises me. Yet I certainly know lots of people who do not enjoy reading as a form of entertainment or even as a way to learn. I love to read. I always have. I come from a long line of readers on both sides of my family. And if you came to see me in my house now, you'd likely find my husband and me sitting quietly in a room with books in hand. I firmly believe that in order to excel in life and leadership, you have to be continuously learning. To that end, this year I read over 25 smart books. I call them brain food. They're the types of books that are really enriching. They help you expand your knowledge and your horizons and your frame of reference. They educate you, pique your curiosity, make you consider things from a different perspective, even make you more well rounded. Now, those 25 plus brain food books, they're actually part of more than 70 books that I've read this year because I've deliberately left out the for fun books, the dragons, the magic, the mystery, the crime capers, all the fun stuff that I read on the side for entertainment. I'm also not mentioning podcasts and articles. This is just about books, either books or audiobooks that I've read this year. Okay, so enough stalling. Let's see, what are the top five books that I read this year that I would love to recommend to you? From Strength to Strength, Finding Success, Happiness, and Deep Purpose in the Second Half of Life by Arthur C. Brooks. We have gifted and recommended this all year long. I wish I had read it earlier in my career. I feel like that subtitle is almost misleading because people maybe won't pick it up till they get to a certain age, but I would have loved to have had some advanced perspective about how our brains change, how we can think differently, and how we can still lead a meaningful, purposeful life as we age and evolve. I'm really grateful to have read it in midlife. It's helped me connect the dots on purpose and service as I age and evolve. And for anyone who's pondering the what now or what next, this is a great read. Another in my top five list this year is Coaching, The Secret Code to Uncommon Leadership by Ruchira Chaudhary. Ruchi, who's based in Asia Pac, and my younger sister went to business school together. They're great friends. I was fortunate enough to not only have a call with Ruchi to ask and gain some perspective and some of her wisdom, but then I followed up by reading her book. And I was like, whoa, yep, wow, yes, that, more of that the entire way through. I took a lot of notes, pages and pages from her very well thought out compendium on why leaders need to coach and how to do it. Highly recommend this book. Another great book that I'd encourage you to check out is Closed Mouths Don't Get Fed, the recipe for asking and getting what you want in the workplace. This book is by Tianan Stevenson, whom I met this year. Turns out we're both in the Dallas area, but we actually met when we both attended a workshop in New Jersey. I first noticed Tianan because she was unequivocally unafraid to stand up, to speak up, and to ask her questions or share her perspective. Then we sat together at dinner and she shared more about her story. I had that sense that you sometimes get of being in the presence of someone really unique, very special. She is a powerhouse, a professional in a large firm, a mom to several kids, a wife, a leader, and the head of a nonprofit as a side hustle to the rest of her life. And in the middle of it, of course, she wrote a book to share her experience and insights with others so that they learn how to ask for and get what they want in the workplace. Next up on the list is The Anxious Generation, How the Great Rewiring of Childhood is Causing an Epidemic of Mental Illness. This is by Jonathan Haidt. And it maps data to what we've kind of suspected all along about social media and kids and their mental health. If you've got kids, if you've got friends with kids, if you're just an interested part of society, check out this book. And last but not least, let me recommend Manage Yourself to Lead Others, Why Great Leadership Begins with Self-Understanding by Margaret C. Andrews. Now that subtitle should really hit home with anybody who follows along with Boss at the Helm, because we believe you've got to start with yourself. Your own self-awareness and self-development is key. It's essential to being a good leader, to being a boss. And that is what Margaret C. Andrews lays out in her book. A few months back, I wrote a LinkedIn post after I finished reading this book. Margaret is one of those people you just enjoy. Even while you're impressed by her, she's just a comfortable, interesting person to be around. I recently met her as we went through a cohort in a professional development program, and then I had the good fortune to read her book. This particular topic is near and dear to my heart. It speaks to how we can all be effective as people and especially as leaders. Definitely encourage you to check this one out. Even if none of these five resonate with you, go find something that does. Get curious. I encourage you to read more and learn more. And if you just aren't a reader, try audiobooks, podcasts, and online courses. There's a lot of ways to learn. Do whatever you can to get out of your normal and expand your frame of reference. Join us here at Boss at the Helm for more mini but mighty leadership lessons on Fridays. It's all about awareness, accountability, and leveling up. Start with yourself, then lead others. Be a boss.